Hello and welcome to Stretford Paddock. This podcast is brought to you by Surfshark VPN. Now more than ever, our internet reliance is increasing, from talking to loved ones, to streaming your favourite shows, to watching any of the podcasts here on Stretford Paddock. And with that increased footprint, so does our need for proper internet security. And Surfshark is a VPN service that encrypts your data, which stops anyone unwanted from seeing it. Another great thing about Surfshark is it allows you to see all of the great content from around the world. Simply sign in to Brazil and check out their Netflix. You can watch Croatian Amazon Prime. And when you're on holiday, you can still watch all of your shows from back home simply by changing it to your home nation. It is that simple. And currently Surfshark have an amazing deal. By clicking the link in the description and using our code Paddock, you can get a whole 3 months extra for free. That is 3 months extra for free. In addition, Surfshark also offer a 30-day money-back guarantee. Again, use that link in the description and use the code Paddock for 3 months for free and a 30-day money-back guarantee.
Jay here for Stretford Paddock. That is Dave Pritt. This is the Brew. You might have noticed there's no Stephen Housen today because he's busy doing family stuff. But don't worry, we have got you covered. We're going to be chatting about Gareth Southgate, everyone's favourite topic, a little bit about England, and because it's the Brew, just about everything, man. Just whatever you want to chat about. Get involved in the comments, man. Let's do this. I'm a bit knackered, Dave, to be honest with you.
Well, because of watching all the games?
No, I'm not because of that. I was up late last night watching the presidential debates. I worry about the state of the free world. They say the free world, but yeah, I mean, I think the combined age was like, and I'm not even exaggerating, about 106 there.
Has any persuaded you to, like, you like any of them, or is it can't be asked with any of them?
Not really. I mean, I can't stand Donald Trump. I know he's entertaining.
Yeah, he is entertaining.
But I'm not a massive Biden fan. I just think he's the better of the two options. But listen, I don't want to get too political straight into it. But it was, yeah, you know me. I don't like to get political. But it was grim viewing, regardless of what your political persuasion. It was good. But I'm a bit worried because producer Spencer, we've got the Brains Trust on today. We've got producer Adam Ashton. Sorry to give you full name. I don't know what you didn't mind. And producer Adam and producer Spencer, and they just keep looking at the cameras and looking at us with almost a look of disgust. And I don't know.
Always looks like me like that. Yeah,
I don't know if that's the camera or just the presenters. I think he's just looking, going, "Really? Is this the best we've got to offer?" Yeah, Joe, someone is already getting in there saying, "Jay, put it this way: Biden was destroyed. Biden didn't look the best, did he?" But I don't want to distract going all political. Let's talk about something more. Something happier.
Worse.
Something worse. I'm not seeing you for a little while, actually. When we're doing the Academy review again. What's that mean? What's that?
I'm busy with pre-season starts soon.
Oh, but I'm busy with Stretford Paddock FC. Pre-season starts soon. Right, when does it start?
Next week.
So you've left it this late now. So when did it end?
A month ago.
And the Academy just had like the best season ever as well.
Well, some of them did.
Some of them, yeah. Well, you know, God forbid we do our Academy review. We used to do the Academy review, right? And me and Dave. Dave did all the hard work, didn't you? You did all the reviewing.
Oh, no,
and I just sat here and just, yeah, you did all the research. It was good, man, because you like to. The thing with Dave is he's one of those like strange people. He doesn't like to do a video unless he's fully briefed on everything. So he won't just do like me and Joe. And, well, Joe's not too bad, but me and McCullough and Steve, like, we'll just sit down and we'll just chat.
No, well,
you like to know what you're on about.
Like a podcast and stuff, I don't mind. But if I'm doing, like when I did the Academy review, obviously it was talking about games, and I also didn't really want to talk about games if I wasn't there as well. I had a weird think about that, but yeah, it did well for a while. And Stephen Housen wrote me away.
Yeah, he did, didn't he? So yeah, we're going to be talking a little bit about Gareth Southgate. Actually, I don't know where. Taib, yeah. Sorry, bro, I can't find them notes. Do us a favour, will you just WhatsApp them to me if you can? Sorry. Yeah, because we talk about Gareth Southgate, because I'm not the biggest England fan, but I've been a bit annoyed.
Yeah, I mean, I've been annoyed for a long time. I remember when we were doing the watch-alongs there for the World Cup.
Yeah, because you wanted
I want him gone then.
You wanted Steve Cooper, didn't you?
Yeah, still do.
Which a lot of people look at as being insane.
But people say, yeah, but you got Forest relegated. What did Samuel Southgate do with Middlesbrough?
He got him relegated.
Yeah, but he's allowed to do the job.
Yeah, well, this is the thing, innit? And at least Steve Cooper. Why did you want Steve Cooper?
Because he's got pedigree in international football, especially with England. He won the World Cup with under 17s. He knows the players that came through, the Fodens. I know Sancho's not there anymore, but them type of players. He knows the system. The FA know him. He's happy. They're happy with him. I think he'd be perfect.
Yeah.
Ronaldo Brown trained under him as well at one point.
Really?
He talks highly of him.
Listen, I get you. I get where you was going with it, because people are like, well, can't have Steve Cooper. But regardless, the reason we got to that place was because you weren't a big fan of
Southgate. Not at all.
Southgate.
I don't think he's ever been good enough.
Are we being a bit harsh on Gareth Southgate? Right?
Not at all. He's the only manager that's ever got England relegated from anything.
That's record breaking. Yeah. He's a record breaking manager. Yeah.
He can't. Well, this might be the worst period of his time anyway, right. But when we've played in the past, everyone goes, aren't we playing well? Are we? Or we're just playing terrible teams? And when we ever face anyone who's half decent, we crumble.
Okay, well, should we get into his record? Get involved in the comments and the chats. Hit that like button as well, please, people. Give us a like. And if you're not doing already, subscribe to the channel. So, Southgate is now in his 4th tournament, I believe, as the England manager.
How many trophies?
Well, none. He's got the same amount of trophies as every manager who's ever managed England, bar one, Sir Alf Ramsey, who obviously won the World Cup in 1966. I remember it well. What were you doing? You weren't around then, were you?
No, still.
Oh, you missed a great one. Bobby Charlton, chef's kiss.
I think my dad was 3.
You did, was it?
Yeah.
Right, okay. To be fair, my dad was 6, so it's not like I'm that old. So in 2018 World Cup, he got to the semis. Yeah, a good performance, I think you can argue. You could say getting to the semis of the World Cup equalled our greatest ever performance outside of these Isles.
Who did we play?
Well, I'm glad you asked because I've got some notes there. We played Tunisia. We beat them. Is it 2-1 against Tunisia? I thought we battered him. Really? Panama 6-1. Then we lost to Belgium, but by that time I think it didn't matter.
Oh, like a half decent team.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. We played a team that wasn't like 110th in the world, and we lost. Then we played Colombia, where we beat them on penalties. Yeah. I have to add this caveat though: Colombia were without James Rodriguez.
Is that the game where Trippier scored the free kick?
No, that's Croatia.
Was that Croatia?
Yeah. So we had we beat Colombia on penalties, which, to be fair, is not easy. England winning on penalties. We never win on penalties.
But it's the fact that it went to penalties.
I mean, I think they scored in the last minute to equalise, so that was a bit disappointing. Then we beat Sweden in the quarterfinals 2-0. Can't argue with that. Comfortable victory.
Our house country.
Yeah. You can only beat what's in front of you, David. Yeah, you're in the quarterfinals of the World Cup. A 2-0 win isn't a bad thing. Yeah, I'm not his biggest fan, but I'll give him that one. That's probably his best result. And then we got beat in the semi-final of Croatia, 2-1 after extra time. The annoying thing with that was we went ahead. Kieran Trippier's free kick in the first half. I remember it well. I think the Croatians were there for the taking. I do.
I know. They were, but
they changed it a little bit, didn't they? They were going wide, and I think Perisic was getting involved in a lot of things. Mandzukic was causing us all sorts of problems, and they got the win.
I think it was the best way to go out though, because if we had gone in the final with France, I think they would have absolutely destroyed us.
Do you reckon?
Yeah, and I think it would have been.
I mean, they battered Croatia, didn't they?
Yeah, I think it'd been harder to take that than it was Croatia.
Really, a World Cup final though. It's a lottery, a bit. Well, it's not a lottery, but
like the last Euros when we lost, that was worse.
You reckon?
Yeah.
All right, so Dave would rather lose a semi-final than a final. That makes sense to me.
What are you going to do with your silver medal?
I mean, you'd go down in history as the most successful manager since Sir Alf Ramsey, wouldn't you?
Women's manager, she won the Euros.
All right, sorry, I have to. Yeah, that's a good point, because people go, England haven't done. The women's team have obviously won a trophy and done very well.
Steve Cooper won a World Cup.
Right, now you just get right. The under-17s. Wasn't Mark Gay the captain of that team?
I don't know. I can't remember.
I think he was. I'm going to check that out in a minute.
Because the same year, the 21s won the World Cup as well. I think the following year, the 19s won the Euros.
Really?
Yeah.
So we were just absolutely smashing it.
It's great if you go to St George's Park, if you go where the main reception is, where the Hilton hotel bit is as well. They've got a shirt from every game, so they've got a World Cup final shirt there. With a replica of the trophy, but they've got the trophies and the shirts with the medals of all the things we've won. It's it's really good.
Fair play, man. So the academy young teams have done quite well. The England first team not so much. Anyway, We then lost, by the way, the third place playoff to Belgium. So we lost twice to Belgium in that tournament. It's not the end of the world, is it? Losing the third place playoff. Does anyone care? I'm being honest.
Not really, but you'd think that he'd want to try and win something.
Yeah, I get your point, but it's like the bronze medal, really. So I thought that was a good tournament. And the thing that you can't quantify with these results as well is it got everyone buzzing. That summer was mint. I'm not an England fan that much. I do want them to win, but I bought into it. I was working with Scotty. We were going around the country watching it on, the big screens and the fan zone and stuff. It was a great atmosphere. It was a great summer. Do you know what I mean? Everyone was getting behind the boys. I really loved it. We had Jesse Lingard there, of course. Marcus was there as well. Harry Maguire wasn't a United player at the time, but he cemented his sort of stature as a defender to keep your eye on. Ashley Young was there, of course, don't forget. He was the regular left-back, and he was a United player. So there was a United contingent there, and it was a good tournament. And everyone, I think it was the first tournament as well, where I didn't hate everyone. From the England team. Because England, for me, I've always had this issue where I'm not going to stand and chant and sing and get behind Steven Gerrard.
Yeah, I had that issue when they knocked down Wembley when the games were at Old Trafford. Yeah. And I went to all the games there, and I went to one at City as well. But
you disgust me.
Well, someone's got.
Why don't you just put a City shirt on and start? You know what I mean? Chanting Phil Foden's name.
World Cup winner with Steve Cooper. Anyway, so I was going, and I enjoyed it. But then, I remember I think Lampard scored and Gerrard scored, and everyone's like going, and I'm going.
Yeah. I can't. I remember in the World Cup in South Africa in 2010 when he scored against America. I remember cheering until I realised it was him. I was livid at the time, by the way. I was like, it's like it had been disallowed because I'm such a top red. Anyway, then we went into the Euros, which were in England, I believe.
That's correct.
So
it was coming home. This is when it was.
Oh well, I've not got the. Hang on a minute. I need to get they've not come through on that message I've got. Let me have a look. England Euros 2020. Was it 2021? It was 2021, wasn't it? Because we had that COVID.
Remember that?
But it was a weird time, wasn't it? COVID. Do you know what I mean? It was. Yeah, I often forget it happened. Do you know what I mean? When you're talking about things, and then you're like, actually, that did. So we beat Croatia 1-0. Good result. Croatia didn't really turn up for that game. No. I don't want to just dismiss every good result he's had, but it was weird because Croatia, who would go on to get to a World Cup semi in the next World Cup, wouldn't they? Yeah. I'm just making that up. They did, didn't they?
I can't remember.
I think they did. They got to the World Cup semi-final in Qatar. I think they did. But they weren't great. We then drew with Scotland, where everyone lost their mind. Because it was like, how can we draw with Scotland? Oh, this is at Wembley as well. Sack him. We then beat the Czech Republic. Raheem Sterling was banging in the goals at this point as well. So we did well. Finished top of our group, I think. Yeah, we must have done. So 7 points from 3 games. No goals conceded. Good. Comfortable.
Well done.
Yeah. And let's have it right as well. This is one thing. I'm going to get into some of the comments in a minute. So hit that like button and do get involved. England at tournaments have just absolutely disintegrated. Getting knocked out of Iceland, getting knocked out on penalties in 2012, I think it was. Getting knocked out on penalties in 2006, in 2002. 2002 was Brazil, you can't really grumble at that. But we have lost a lot of penalties, we've lost to teams we shouldn't have done in 2008, we didn't qualify, despite having world-class players in every position.
Ollie with the brolly.
Yep, I do like Steve McLaren, but he was absolutely terrible as England manager. So you can't just say, take it for granted that you're getting out of the groups and making
No, I understand that. But
even though it was in England, so you'd expect us to.
But if it was any other nation, if it's a Germany or a Spain or where they don't perform, there's questions asked, and we don't really ask questions. Like, he's a good guy. Yeah. In his waistcoat nice, and that's all people were talking about.
His nice waistcoat. Yeah. We then went through to play Germany in the round of 16, and we won 2-0. Not a vintage. Again, I feel like I'm being overly asking. People go, "Well, it's beating Germany," but not a vintage German team by any stretch of the imagination. But we beat them. We then, funnily enough, we went to Rome to play the quarter-final against Ukraine.
What?
Yeah, we didn't play the quarter-final in England.
Oh yeah, it was all over Europe.
Yeah, so it was a bit of a mix. Even though we played everything else.
The final was at Wembley. Yeah, that was right.
We went to Rome. If memory serves, a certain Jadon Sancho and an absolute worldie in this game. We battered them 4-0. Well done. Lovely stuff. Then it was Denmark in the semis. We beat them 2-1 after extra time. emotional time for Denmark, having not lost, but lost him from the squad, but very nearly lost him full stop in Christian Eriksen during the tournament, which was just harrowing.
Which is amazing that he scored in this tournament as well.
That is one of the great stories ever, isn't it? To almost die, basically. I think he was dead at one point, wasn't he? I'm not trying to be facetious, I think he was. And then to come back and score a goal in the next tournament is just phenomenal. I love Christian Eriksen. It's a shame. I will never, ever forgive Andy Carroll. He's not been the same player for United since then.
Well, he never really was he?
Well, he obviously was. What do you mean he never really was? That doesn't make any sense.
We got him a bit late.
Yeah, but he was good. That first 6 months, Dave, right? Yeah, you used to come in the office and every day you was going on about Christian Eriksen was the best player you'd ever seen. You were saying to me, right, every day, you said, I ain't got kids, but if I did, I'd call them Christian and Eric. That's what you said to me, and son. Because I think Christian Eriksen, forget... These were your exact words, right? Forget Cantona, forget Keno, forget that Trinity statue. Christian Eriksen is the best, yeah? And now you're changing your tune and saying, you wear all that.
I mean, because that's what you want from anything, like an older player from Brentford to come and join.
No, right. Christian Eriksen is one of the few deals that's made sense. The only thing that didn't make sense, probably the length of the contract, but a Freeman's, and he came in, and I was pleasantly surprised at how well he played.
He was all right.
You're so harsh, you are. People forget, before that injury, and I don't care what he says, I know the truth. He was mint. We then got Italy in the final, and we lost on penalties. Yeah. For the taking as well, wasn't it? Yeah. That was on Luke Shaw.
We should have won that.
Nearly etched his name into folklore there. If Luke Shaw had ended up scoring that winning goal, if that had been the winning goal, then you never would have at the end of it. There would have been a statue with him outside Wembley and all sorts. It would have been crazy. And then we're into this World Cup. We're not going to talk about the Nations League. Not this World Cup, sorry. Then we had the World Cup. Yes. The Qatar World Cup, which was a strange one, wasn't it, as well? Because, again, we started off all right, didn't we, in that? If I can just bring it up. Sorry, my thing is playing up, the message that I've been sent. I know this is great if you sat there waiting for me to get my head together.
Sneeze.
Was that a sneeze then? Sorry, bless you. So yeah, there was all this controversy one day about the World Cup, and now we're going to wear the rainbow armband and all the rest of it, and plot spoiler, we didn't. England finished top of the group. We won 2, beating Iran 6-2.
How did we finish the top of the group with them amazing teams?
Iran, United States and Wales. Gareth Southgate is nothing if not a very lucky manager, right? So we battered Iran 6-2. And do you know what? When Rashford scored, honestly, I was so buzzing. We then drew the United States, but come on, you can't expect us to beat a team that are ranked about 83rd in the world. And then we battered Wales, and Rashford got a brace, and I fully lost my mind. And I was full England fan, and that was it. I was done. So then we went through to the next round. This annoyed me, right? Because then you had Senegal, and this is when I thought that Southgate flopped a little bit, because Senegal had injuries. They were there for the taking. He dropped Rashford, and I thought you should have kept the momentum going. He should just become the top scorer in the World Cup. Let him play against Senegal. He'll get you goals. They give him like 5 minutes.
Yeah, play the strongest team.
And then we played France in the quarterfinals, and we lost again. I think that game was there for the taking. I thought Southgate made some strange decisions. He took Saka off when he was dominating the game. The French looked buzzing when Saka came off. He gave Marcus 5 minutes when he was our top scorer, and he gave Raheem Sterling, I think, half an hour when Raheem Sterling hadn't played trained all week.
Didn't he go?
Yeah,
he
got burgled.
Yeah.
So it was really strange. And then obviously in this Euros, we beat Serbia unconvincingly, drew with Denmark unconvincingly, and drew with Slovenia unconvincingly. Not really played a good performance.
Not even the fact of the results. The way we've been playing is awful. It's just absolutely dreadful to watch. You can't even. I'm not even excited. I like watching tournament football and want England to do well, but at this point it's like, if I got knocked out, I wouldn't be that bothered because it's so awful to watch.
Yeah, I mean, we want to get into it, and I want to see what everyone's thinking, because we've got some good young players here. A fool named Huggy says totally the group of death. Lol. Adam says people saying your guy to United is close. Marciej Ben Dinar says scary thing is Ineos were serious about Southgate. I don't think they were, you know. I was chatting about this to Joe Smith the other day on the on Transfers Live. I don't think Ineos were ever in for were ever really interested in Gareth Southgate.
I don't understand how they could possibly think about him. Even if you like him and you think he's a good England manager, which I don't, if you look at his track record at league football, he's awful.
Yeah, I mean, he got relegated to Middlesbrough and then got sacked when they were in the Championship, didn't he? Which is just, obviously, that's not good, no matter how you want to spin it. Then with England, we've been through it all. But you look at his crop of players now, and you think there's a real talent there. And I thought Mainu not starting in was weird, wasn't it? Because especially when you're playing Trent Alexander-Arnold out of position, rather than playing a player who, in his last game, was man of the match, or player of the match, in a FA Cup final against arguably the best midfield in the world.
It don't make sense. Well, the Trent Alexander-Arnold thing is, I'd never understood anyway, because I know he's a full-back, but he's a terrible defender. And he's been put in a defensive position in midfield. I mean, and I don't understand why he thought he was the guy to do that. If you played him further forward, he's going to be brilliant. That's why I think if you played him as a winger, I think he'd be good. But defensively, awful. And then even when he finally, after 2 games of experimenting, says, that's not working. And he plays Conor Gallagher, which makes no sense. And then even like the 3rd game, he got Cole Palmer, who's been smashing it all season for Chelsea. And what did he get in the end? 20 minutes? And that's the first bit of football he's had in the tournament. And it's crazy, it really is. Yeah. I just don't understand his logic.
I don't understand his logic. Do you think that he could stumble into getting it right? Because Kobbie Mainoo, for me, has got to start over Conor Gallagher, because he's sort of forced the issue. Like, even Southgate can't get that one wrong. So you've got Kobbie Mainoo comes in for Gallagher, right? That's an improvement. Already, you've just improved your team massively, because I think Conor Gallagher runs around a lot, is okay. I don't think he gets in the United team. I don't.
No.
I don't think he does.
It's a strange one, because I think he's scared of changing the team. It's like, at the moment, is Bellingham playing well? I don't think he's played well all tournament.
No.
And I think if you played Foden in the 10, I think he'd excel there.
If you had to sacrifice one of them, so you're sacrificing Bellingham.
At the moment, I
think he looks a bit knackered, Bellingham. I think Foden links up better with some of these other players as well.
Because the trouble is that Kane as well, you can see, because Foden's not doing much with it in the 10 position, Kane's coming back way too much, and he's totally out of position.
Are you a fan of Harry Kane? Because he's getting a bit of stick.
Not in this tournament. I think he's been dreadful.
Yeah. Would you drop him?
But who'd you put on?
Ollie Watkins?
Potentially, but once again, he's relied on having Harry Kane, so he's not really brought many extras.
Is it Watkins and Tony?
He's never going to play Tony, though, is he?
No, and Tony fell off a cliff as well, didn't he, towards the end of the season? Was it 12 games without a goal? So he's not like he's sort of giving you any reason to believe he's the answer to all your problems. No, I thought Cole Palmer did really well when he came on against Slovenia. I also think it's not just about what he did when he came on; it's what he's been doing all season.
Yeah, he's been amazing.
Like everyone, right? People look at that Chelsea side, and rightly so. They'll go, that Chelsea side is a disaster. Like, look, the team, it doesn't make any sense. It's a mess. And then you'll have someone like Conor Gallagher, who's done okay in that Chelsea team, and he'll say. And you'll go, well, he's done well because he's in that Chelsea team, and look what he's done. Cole Palmer's smashed it in that Chelsea team.
He's been unbelievable.
He's in that team, he's a disaster, and he's absolutely smashed it. And you think, to go into that team to the point where you score every single penalty, and you're still having to fight your teammates over the ball when it's like time to take a penalty. Like you're having to play a bit of tug of war with him because one of them's decided he wants to take the penalties all of a sudden and his mates joined in. It's ridiculous. He's absolutely smashed it. He's played really well every single game, including twice against United. He played well against us at Old Trafford with a very good goal, and obviously got his hat-trick at the Stamford Bridge, unfortunately. Like, he's doing really well. Play him. Play this player that's playing really well for club and country.
Bellingham's the only one where he started playing well and he stuck him in. Well, obviously this was before the tournament.
Yeah.
But everyone else who's playing well, it's still the regulars who get the shot. It's like he's not going to drop. Well, he's got Foden out of position. I don't think he's going to drop. He's got Saka. I don't think Saka's playing too well either. I mean, he's not the worst out the front at the moment, but he's not vintage Saka, and he won't drop him either.
No.
I think with the back four or back five with the keeper, I don't think you have to change much there. I think they've not. That's all you can really have, and I think they're actually doing all right. But midfield, especially when we had Trent in there, and then I think, like I say, Rice has done okay, Bellingham awful, Kane awful, Foden out of position, and Saka's been crap. So it's down to the manager to either change it or motivate the players, and they don't look like a motivated.
Do you think he's took the right squad?
No, I think even.
Who would you have taken?
It sounds daft because obviously it's United, but even if you're not going to play him, I would have bought Rashford just in case.
I don't think that sounds daft at all.
He was terrible this season, but he's just a different option, and he's not really brought different options. It's like for like more than like, and it's a bit crazy really for me.
Listen, I'm just going to try and do the maths now. Well, not do the maths. I'm going to try to get involved in the chat and the comments. I'll get into some of the comments that we've had so far. Let us know what you think. I know you might not be bothered by England, but what do you think of Gareth Southgate? He was linked quite heavily with the Manchester United job. I don't think that was going to happen. I don't think a man as intelligent as Dan Ashworth would appoint Gareth Southgate, because that would be the most stupid decision you could have made. And the thing, I said this on Transfers Live the other night, Dan Ashworth is renowned for being very astute, knowing his stuff, had success everywhere he's gone. He was successful, I think, was it Brighton, successful at England, successful at Newcastle, because he's been able to find good players, young players, get a manager in or work with a manager, get the best out of the team, and then, he's smashed it everywhere he's gone. Is he going to come into Manchester United and appoint someone who in his career in club football got Middlesbrough relegated and then got sacked? No. In his time as a manager at international level has done okay. To come in at international level, you'd have to have won every tournament you've been in to convince me you can manage Manchester United. No, if that's your only pedigree.
It's either you need an up and coming manager who's done bit like when I was saying McKenna, it's because actually at the moment he's excelling what he's doing.
Yeah,
and that's something you work, a project you work with. He's going to be there a few years, or you got to get someone who's got experience.
100%. Clayton M, who's been a member of the first team for 47 months, my brother. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate your support. Says the Brew, anything goes. First, second, third. A soup, a chili, or a chowder. First, second, third. Soup, chili, chowder.
Soup first. It depends what soup is, though.
What? That's the top of your banquet.
Yeah.
Soup.
I like a potato and leek.
And British potatoes, yeah, and British leeks. None of that. None of that imported muck. I'll have soup. I can't have soup, salt man. You're off your head. I've never really had chowder. It's very American, isn't it? Chowder, clam chowder.
That doesn't sound nice to me.
It doesn't. I'm going to put chowder third. Yeah. I'll put soup second because it's just beige and it's soup, and I'll put chili first.
No, chili second for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I might have a potato and leek tonight.
What?
Might have a bit of
potato and leek. Yeah, well done, Clayton. You've got us all giddy for potato and leek soup. Abdullah Ibrahim, who's been a member of the first team for 25 months. Again, thank you for your support as well. Kane comes too deep and plays on the toes of the attacking mids. He either needs somebody to run behind or he needs to do it himself. Play two strikers. There you go.
That'd be mental. Imagine two strikers.
I think you could actually play two strikers in this team.
Yeah.
I think you could have three centre-backs. I think you could have Walker, Stones and Gay as your three centre-backs. I think you could have...
Would you drop Trippier, though?
Well, I mean, yeah. I don't know how you do it, actually. I don't know how you do it. I don't know who your wing-backs would be. That's your thing. Because you then into the tackle of actually you've technically got five defenders if you had
then you could have
Trent and Trippier
as a wing back.
Yeah, but then really what you've done is put five defenders and then you'd have your three midfielders would be Mainu, Rice and Foden and then two strikers. So you've kind of sacrificed attack to make it look like you're going attacking when you're not, because your three defenders really is five, and I don't think you could play Palmer as a wing back. I think that's a waste of his talent. I don't think he'd be that guy anyway. So yeah, I don't think you could you go 4-4-2 in this day and age?
I don't think you could.
No.
I really don't think you could.
I'd love it if we. I wouldn't mind it.
It'd be great, just one game.
If you was. Well, do you know what? You could. Yeah, but how's that work again? Because if you go 4-4-2, right, you'd have Rice, Mainu, Foden, Palmer as a diamond, maybe.
Nobody knows how to play as a winger anymore, a proper winger anymore, though. That's the problem.
That's it. You'd have to have him as a diamond with the two wide players tucking in. I don't know if that'd work. I mean, I'd be up for it if you tried it. I think the only reason to do that is if you've got two outstanding strikers.
It'd be good to try in these practice games before the tournament.
Well, there would have been an idea, and use the practice game to actually practice some and experiment instead of just doing what you normally do. I mean, to be fair, he did bring in, was it Mainu got some games, some minutes, but then he dropped him. Yeah, he had to. He kind of got forced there. So yeah, I just think if you're going to play two strikers, the only reason to do that is say you had Harry Kane and like a prime Wayne Rooney, and you go, look, I'm not going to drop either of them. I want my two strikers. Fair enough. But when you've got Kane, who I think there's even a discussion to be had about him And then it's Ollie Watkins, who I do like, but he's not. I don't think he's ever scored for England. I don't know.
Not that I can think of.
And then you've got Ivan Toney, who's not got a goal for his club since, was it February or something?
Yeah, it's
not looking great.
Well, I think the hopes were on Kane, because obviously in the Bundesliga he was smashing them in, and like his goal, the goal he scored, I thought was good, because that's what he is. He's in the right place at the right time. But this, you can see he's getting frustrated and he wants the ball. But I just think he just needs to stay up top, and the ball will come to him eventually. But I don't think he's that patient.
You could throw a blanket over him, Foden, and Bellingham at times, couldn't you?
It's mad.
You could throw a blanket, you throw a tea towel over them. They're that close together all the time, and it's really frustrating because you don't want to see that. You don't want to see three of your most talented players just in the same space, getting in each other's way, and they're not working together. They're not dovetailing nicely. It's not like when one of them's sort of dropping in and the other one's stepping up, whatever. It's like you seem to have this thing where all of them have played a little bit underwhelming. I think Foden's probably been the best out of the three. You can see more of him, but he's still not been the Phil Foden that you see at Manchester City.
Yeah, it's because he's out of position. I agree. He's not looked the best, but I take that down to his position.
David Briscoe has gifted 5 Stretford Paddock memberships. Thank you, David. That is mint, that, by the way, gifting those memberships. It really does support the channel. Ross Murphy says, big up, David. Yeah, thank you, David, for doing that. Someone else, I think it was Abinam Verma, mentioned, for starters, I would have taken a fit left-back to the Euros. What do you make of the fact that he's taken one left-back, really, because Kieran Trippier's not a left-back.
No.
She's taken one who's injured.
Mental.
Yeah. That is insane, isn't it? Like,
he's not gonna play at all?
I don't think he will. I think there's something going on. As Lee Dixon, right, and I'd rather stick pins in my eyes than listen to Lee Dixon, genuinely. But he said probably the only interesting thing he's ever said in his entire life. I think it was for the Denmark, not the Denmark game, for the Slovenia game. And he said that he'd spoken to Gareth Southgate. Gareth Southgate a week ago, whatever, had said, we're hoping to have Shaw ready for the Denmark game, for the second game in the group. So he thought Shaw had a setback in training, where something along the lines hadn't gone according to plan. So I know he's in training now, with the team.
You, as a manager, you account for that and say, is a risk to take an injured player? If he's a vital player, fair enough. If it was Harry Kane, you'd take him, thinking that.
See, the thing is,
Shaw's not vital to England. I don't think he is.
I think I get it. I think if he's fit, Luke Shaw's your best left back.
No, of course.
Yeah, I understand your point about him not being vital. I think when you look at Harry Maguire in the last Euros, Harry Maguire missed the first 2 games, remember? Tyrone Mings played, and he did okay, and people got giddy and were saying, oh, I can't believe we took Harry Maguire when Tyrone Mings is there and he's doing really well. Harry Maguire comes back into the team, he's player of the match, and he's in the team in the tournament, and he buries his penalty, and he's just a better defender than Tyrone Mings at everything. Whether it's tackling, whether it's heading, whether it's reading the game, whether it's bringing the ball out from the back, whether it's passing, he's just better, right? He is. That's not dissing Tyrone Mings. I ain't got a dog in the fight. I don't really care about Tyrone Mings. I'm not Harry Maguire's biggest fan, but he's a much better defender than Tyrone Mings. So I get it. I do. Because the drop-off is quite big. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you was going into a big game and you've got a choice of Harry Maguire and Tyrone Mings, you'd want Harry Maguire every day of the week and twice on Sunday. With Luke Shaw not fully fit, I think the other option would have been maybe Ben Chilwell, would it have been?
Yeah, potentially.
Yeah.
And you could have took it, you could definitely have taken him.
Which is a bit of a weird one, isn't it? Because a fit Ben Chilwell is probably on a similar par to a not 100% Luke Shaw.
Yeah. And I really can't see Shaw playing. To be honest, I don't think even if he's there for the semi-final and the final, I don't think we make it.
You know what's weird as well? Is you haven't even taken any left-footed defenders, I don't think. Because Trippier's right-footed,
yeah. No, Anglin's is he left, actually? Did he score his free kick with his left?
I think, no, didn't he? What foot is Kieran Trippier? Can someone find out? In fact, I've got a laptop in front of me, I don't know why I did that. Kieran Trippier foot, he's right-footed, it says here, according to transfer marks. I'm sure he has. I'm sure he's right-footed. Yeah, so he's not left-footed. I know he can play at left-back. But then you've got someone like Jared Branthwaite, and there's this argument going on about Branthwaite, or discussion, I shouldn't say an argument, where some Everton fans say actually he's right-footed, he just uses his left a lot. He's one of those, he's like Mason Greenwood, who can use his left and right almost as well as each other. But I think if you give him a penalty, for example, he'd use his right foot.
Mason didn't. I think he's
Mason scored with his left foot, but scored with his right. His first penalty he took against, was it Milan in the?
Yeah, his first one was with his weak foot.
Yeah, but that was like to prove a point. I don't know what he was doing. He was messing about. But yeah, I think Branthwaite is an argument or discussion going on that he actually might be naturally right-footed, but uses his left a lot. So it's like he's ambidextrous. Yeah, but you could have played him maybe at left back because he's left-footed and he's a defender and he's good. Like, it would have made sense. You could have touched Chilwell. You've left yourself in this position. I heard Ian Wright saying the other day maybe he can play Bukayo Saka at left back, and maybe he can. But he shouldn't have come to that.
Yeah, it shouldn't come. And plus, you don't know with Saka if he finally wakes up a little bit. You want him as an attacking option. You don't really want him defending. He's obviously not playing well. Well, he's not the worst of the front four, like I said, but he's not playing particularly well. But if he does turn it on and it comes well, you want him up front or on the wing even.
Kid Magnifico says, Jay, is it true you used to breakdance in the Hacienda? My secret's out. I was a bad boy breakdancer in the Hacienda. No, I went to the Hacienda once, I was only 16. And do you know what? I'm glad I went because I can say I've been to the Hacienda. But my only overriding memory of it was that ice pops were dead expensive. I think like $5 or something for an ice pop, which is scandalous, isn't it? Yeah. And I was just like, I remember being a bit underwhelmed because everyone used to rave about that, pardon the pun, rave about the Hacienda. I was like, the Hacienda, you know what I mean? I got in, it was just like, it's a bit dingy, a bit grey. It weren't life at bowlers, put it that way. Josh says, had Luke Shaw not got that injury, I genuinely believed he'd have been England's best ever left back. Unfortunately, he's not had the career to come close to Cole. I don't think he would have been.
No, Cole's...
I think Ashley Cole... Way above. I don't like the geezer, but in terms of his ability, I think he's up there with...
Cole was just... Never mind going forward, he was just an amazing defender.
Yeah,
he won everything. So for England, I thought he was great.
Yeah, he was. I mean, I remember having this argument with one of the lads when I was at uni because we used to sing that chant about Ronnie, makes England look shite, and then he was like, no, he doesn't. Ashley Cole just dealt with him. Do you know what I mean? And you think he pretty much did, to be fair. But yeah, I think that.
No, you go with him.
Luke Shaw. I mean, let's not forget as well. Luke Shaw in 2018. I don't even think he was injured. I think he just couldn't get in the United team because Ashley Young was keeping him out. And he didn't go. Obviously, he wasn't going away with England. And Ashley Young was a right winger.
I always remember going back to academy review days. I went to West Ham to watch the under 21s or 23s. I can't remember what it was at the time. At the new stadium, it was like the first game I went there, and I think Young was playing right back and Shaw was playing left back for the 23s, and Young just put 100% in. Winning every ball, going forward, trying his best, and you could see Shaw just walking around and not asked at all. And then the next game for the first team, Young was back in the team, and Shaw you didn't see him for another few weeks.
The Brighton game,
but it just shows you it's just attitude sometimes. I don't think his attitude was right at that time.
Yeah, I remember Jose hated him, didn't he? Yeah, he hammered him.
He had said a few things about him, didn't he?
And everyone used to go, it's because he turned down Chelsea when Jose was at Chelsea. Or something. I don't know. I just think maybe Jose looked at him and just thought, you've not got that right sort of X factor that I want from a player. Listen, Jose could be overly harsh at times. I'm not holding that against Luke Shaw, and obviously the injury that he got and was it against PSV?
I can't remember. It was in the Europa League.
Yeah, it was in the Champions League.
I thought it was Europa League.
Was it Europa?
I thought was it not the same year Rashford came in? Was it before that?
I think it was the year before. It was anyway. The injury he got in Europe was horrendous. But yeah, it's a shame.
He was never the same player really after that.
No, he had spells, didn't he? But I think that going into that game, he was unreal.
He was. Player. No, he was great.
It's a shame, it really is. Glenn F says Shaw is better. Glenn F also says, I heard that Branthwaite is a righty but can use both feet. Disagree about Cole though. Shaw was better. Couldn't disagree more, to be honest with you, bro. Heaven Soul says Cole was better but Shaw had so much potential. Yeah, I agree with that. Wayne Davis says alcoholic ice pops. No, just ice pops. Santa Knox says a $5. Yep, they were a $5, bro. I'm not. They were just
10p,
someone said. I can't find where it was. but someone said that's it. Ice pops. Josh says ice pops is slang for Colombian sugar. If anyone's wondering, it's not.
You'd been happy.
You are? Yeah. Altered Shape says, lol, yes, Jay, life at Bowlers was ace. Yes, it was. It was really good. Do you still care about England? Do you want
I want them to do well, yeah. I do. It's
Champions League, says Peter Kelly for the Luke Shaw thing. Thank you.
Fair enough. Obviously, I want them to do well. To be honest, me and the Empire.
Yeah, you love the Empire, don't you?
I wanted Scotland to do well as well.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
I'm stunned by you.
But yeah, obviously, I want England to win it, but I wanted Scotland to get through to the group stage, out the group stage.
Yeah.
But it's.
I was a bit gutted for Scott McTominay,
Yeah, he was great.
Because he did well, and that Hungarian goal, last kick of the game, it was heartbreaking, wasn't it?
No, I think the Italy-Croatia when they scored with the last kick of the game.
Is that what it was?
Did you not see it? I was working at the bar.
I just saw that Scotland conceded in the last kick of the game, didn't they?
It's the same thing. I didn't say that.
Yeah.
But do you not see Croatia-Italy? Literally, last kick of the game, they were through Croatia, and then.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I thought he had a bit of a weird one. The Croatian manager.
They also all dropped to the floor and started crying.
Yeah, it was like Sami Kafur in '99. Yeah. But I remember the Croatian managers took off Kovacic. He was running the show. I don't know what he was doing.
Yeah, he fingered off as well, didn't he? Modric.
Yeah, he sort of gambled a little bit and tried to play it safe. And obviously backfired. But yeah, I did feel for Scott McTominay and the Scottish fans in general. Because
what I like when you see him play when he's played for United, everyone slagged him off a little bit because he's not the main. There, you can see what his game's about. He just puts 100% in no matter what.
Yeah, and also he's like they moved him because he used to be defence.
Yeah, centre back. That's why he wears number 4.
Yeah, and then they sort of they moved him further up the pitch and he was banging him in qualifiers.
I think he just goes. Scott, just go where you want, mate.
Yeah, and he was banging him in qualifiers, but
it's not 2 against Spain.
I know, man. That's no mean feat, that is it? Seriously, so unlucky Scott McTominay. We'll wait and see what happens with the old Angleterre. A big thank you to Surfshark sponsoring this podcast. We're going to be back on Sunday. We're going to do a watch-along for the England game. We don't always do them, but we're going to do them for the England games. So it's going to be me and Joe. We're going to be back for that one. So make sure, if you're not doing already, you hit that like, share, and subscribe button. Dave, where can people find you?
Many places these days.
Right, I'm not 5-0. I'm not going to get nick you. David Briscoe as well says, are you lads coming here to San Diego again this summer? Fucking right we are, sunshine. Don't you worry about that. We are coming to San Diego this summer and I can't wait. So yeah, make sure you, if you're over in San Diego, come and meet up with us. We'll be doing some bits over there, and hopefully you see you there. And if not, we're going to be doing loads of content, bringing you vlogs, bringing you interviews, bringing you mix zone, bringing you reviews, bringing you podcasts, bringing you all that good stuff. We'll be doing news reports out there as well, the paper talk in San Diego.
You might see my sister there again.
Yeah, we met up last time, didn't we? Me and your family. It's, I was pleasantly surprised.
Well, she's all right.
No, they were all right. Because you think Dave's like, do you want to meet up with my family? I thought, they're out like you, Jesus Christ. But then I met them, they were really nice. They were, so it was good stuff. Right, go and check Dave out, you know where to find him, you know where to find me as well. Don't forget to hit like, share and subscribe. This has been The Brew. Thanks for watching.